Are the best villains created or are they made? And what makes a good villain in the first place? These are the questions that are on my mind today, so we're going to look at this today on the DnDaily vlog. Thank you for joining me. I'm Gregory and this is 1 in 20 D&D. Today I want to take a look at villains, and I'm kind of asking myself the question today, are the best villains created or are they made? And what I mean by that is this. When you encounter a villain, if the DM is going to present you with some big bad dude or dudette, doesn't matter if it's a monster or a person really, but it's someone that's going to be the nemesis for the party, probably for some amount of time, and that ties back to what is a villain even in the first place. If that's the case, what makes a villain a villain? And are they created or are they made? In other words, do you just present them with a creature? It could be a dragon, a beholder, it could be a human being that's a spellcaster or anything like that. It could be a general, a mighty warrior. If you present it to the party and sort of you've thought it out ahead of time, you've done all kinds of design, you know what their whole plot arc is intended to be, does that make it a villain? Just because you designed it to be, you created it to be a villain? Or maybe what if you actually don't intend anything? In fact, you might not have any forethought that this particular creature or this particular individual is going to become the villain, but because of what happens during the game, they end up becoming the villain, the nemesis. And what I'm saying there is that they are made in the course of playing the game. See, I can't imagine, I haven't had enough experience with this as a DM. However, I can see, because I understand story, my sense is that if I create a villain, if I come up with some idea for a big bad, and I create this villain and I present them and there's an encounter, probably there's a combat. Well, what if the party just wipes the floor with the villain? And even though you've given them an out, oh, they have teleport, oh, they have a way to get away. Parties are notorious for foiling the plans of the best DMs. So I would say that if you create a villain and you get lucky, you might have that villain around for a long time. You might be able to present them in such a way where maybe they don't actually have any kind of combat, or there's no violence at the beginning, where you've presented this person and they might not be a very nice person, or they might be a threat like a dragon that the party sees flying around. That works. That sets up a great nemesis in a way. I mean, we can go back, I'll probably post a link here, we could go back to my character in the Dragon of Icespire Peak. Myself and Rathian, we got blasted by the breath weapon of a white dragon that was tormenting the area. It didn't kill us, we didn't kill it, and then we knew it was still in the area, so we had to go on and find a way to go out and find it and eventually hunt it down and kill it, because it was a threat to the whole region and we were the heroes. That's a great way to set up a villain, right? And in a way you could say that villain was created, so it might work. I just get this sense that a lot of times the best villains are made in the course of playing the game. You present the party with a person or a creature, they face it, they fight it, but maybe they don't defeat it for whatever reason. It gets away. I think this probably works out more when it's like a sentient being, like an intelligent being that has the wherewithal to realize, like, I'm in over my head, or I don't really want to deal with these individuals right now. They've defeated my minions and now they're attacking me directly. I'm out. Like, that to me is a good beginning for what could become a great villain down the road. Like that, then they have a reason to sort of want vengeance. But vengeance, now see, let's talk about that, because maybe all that we need is a solid motivation. If there's a reason, like, okay, the party's out there, they're doing good in the realm. Well, not everyone is going to be happy about that, right? Maybe you're ruining the business of the Thieves Guild, or maybe there's some robber baron tyrant who is trying to take over and build up some kind of a war band or mercenary army, and you keep foiling their plans. Your party keeps foiling their plans. Well, they may want to come and get revenge. They want to maybe they don't even want revenge, they just know you might be a threat to them, your party might be a threat to them, and so they want to take you out of the picture before you do become a problem. There's so many cool ways, I think, to introduce a villain. That's not what I'm really talking about, is it? I'm really trying to figure out, like, in the games I've played and in the games I've viewed, let's say like here on YouTube or Twitch or what have you, and even the games I've talked about with friends, what has made the best villains? I think there's two things. I think the first is that there's some recurring element. There's some element in the story, in the narrative of the game, whereby this bad being, bad person, bad thing, bad whatever it is, bad monster, this villain keeps sort of, let's say, to make it a little bit of I don't mean it to sound too cliche, but it makes sense to say it keeps rearing its ugly head, right? It's that bad penny. You know, you think you've dealt with it and it keeps coming back. You think you've thrown it away or defeated it and it keeps coming back. I think that's part of making a good villain in a RPG campaign. I think the second part is that it's not only is it a persistent threat, because that's basically what we're talking about, right? As it is a recurring threat or a persistent threat. We could use either term. I think the other part of a great villain is that they definitely are a threat. There's something about this creature or person that is a clear threat to either the party directly or the people, places, and things that the party cares about. Like if it's a threat to one of the members' homeland or village or family, or maybe they've they've somehow become the protectors of an area, of a region or a forest or whatever it happens to be, a castle, whatever, and something directly threatens that area or that location that they've decided to protect. On a certain level, it could be an ideal. That's way more advanced. That's like way more high level D&D of like getting into kinds of like levels of intrigue and politics and religion and those sort of things. If you can do that, my goodness, I commend you. For me, I feel like that's a little bit out of my reach at this point. I just want to have a good villain that has that flavor of being some kind of a threat for real to the party, and at the same time has that other quality of like this recurring thing. I think that's what it is. I'm afraid that if I introduce what I think will be a villain, and the party just decimates them just for whatever, mechanically there's no way for me to get them out. I mean, I could always hand wave stuff, of course. The DM can sort of do whatever they want and play God. So I'm sure I could maneuver an out or maneuver a reason to give them a reason to survive. I just try not to manipulate things too much. I like to kind of like cast the dice and let them fall where they lie, and let the things play out the way they play out in the moment. We're getting into high tier. So my Thursday night game is getting into high tier stuff, right? They're all level 12 right now. They're about to like shoot the moon here. The next 8 levels are going to be intense, and I feel like I don't want to just keep throwing like, you know, more dangerous monsters, like more difficult monsters to defeat. I really want to get more involved in like, why? Why are they fighting these things? Why is there a threat? What is the threat and why is it a threat? Like those two things together. And then my other game on Monday, they're at level like 4 or 5 right now, so they're about to start getting into a next level as well, where things are getting a little more threatening and a little more intense. And the cool thing about that is they are in a place where they may or may not have met a villain. They may or may not have heard about a villain. We don't know yet. It hasn't been revealed. It hasn't come up yet. I have some ideas, but nothing is in place at the moment. So as I'm doing the game prep for the next couple weeks and months, these are the things that are in my mind. And I wanted to bring this question to you all because, my goodness, the comments in the videos just keep getting better. The stories and the insights you share with me are absolutely wonderful. They're funny as well. You guys crack me up all the time. And you also are really sharing some amazing insights that help me become a better DM, become a better player, and build just a warehouse of wonderful thoughts and ideas as I move forward and as I grow. So thank you. I hope I am doing the same for you, giving you thoughts and ideas that are helping you grow either as a player or as a DM. Let's keep that together. Let's keep building together. Please, as always, share in the comments. Take a moment and watch this video next. I'll see you at a table someday. Remember, we have our one-shot next weekend. If you're interested, check out the Discord. I'll see you. Keep rolling 20s, and remember, it's your game. Play your way.